Hi everyone, welcome back to Life Sizing for the 50 Plus. Today I am going to give you a ton of information, so I'm going to just dig right into it. Today we're talking about Wellness Redefined, specifically our gut health. This is something that has affected me, and I'm going to share my personal challenge, which is the last 4 or 5, years, I've been challenged with digestive situations, irritable. They range from people can have irritable bowel syndrome to colitis to Crohn's. Anywhere on that scale can be our issue as one ages. Part of the reason for this is that we do not have the digestive enzymes we had when we were younger. And so our body has to work harder. Then if we assault our body with the wrong foods, too much stress, all kinds of things affect our gut health. And so today we're going to dig into this, and I'm going to also share, I can see that my glasses are pretty messed up, that I don't know if you can see, I have makeup on, of course, for this, but my gut immune health is trashed. I know after all the research I've done on this that eczema is actually a result of compromised or poor gut health. Yeah, so I'm going to the dermatologist this afternoon, but I also know that a lot of it is I have to get back to a really strict diet or food plan. Since we went to Denver a couple weeks ago, this will be like the 3rd week now that we're back, I've just been struggling. And so I was out of control again, traveling. I've shared that with you before. Normally, I am pretty, my 80-20. 80% of the time, I am eating healthy. 20% of the time, what the hey. And before you all tell me it's okay when you're on vacation to just have whatever, please understand, I don't like these weeks of consequences. So I'm going to do something different. I haven't quite figured out that yet, but I'm working on it because we're going away for our anniversary the end of the month, and I want to enjoy it to the max, but I'm going to have to figure this out. And I will share with you what I did do and what the results were for this next trip. So all that to say, gut health is so important to everything. We know these last couple of years, we've talked about this, that it's all about, do all these things, take all these meds, do whatever, shots, whatever, to maintain our immunity. And yet, so many people were sick. So many people were, and are sick now with all kinds. That's why I posted, we have a lot of medicine, but we have a whole lot less health. So I want to share with you about our immunity. We need to be proactive because 70 to 80% of our health, of our immunity, stems from the condition of our gut. So we're going to talk with a couple basic things. Actually, there's 6. Get out and move. Breathe. Exercise. This is so good for how it makes our digestive system work better. I have a challenge with one of my beautiful grandchildren, Brooke. She's a fabulous swimmer, and she's going to hold me accountable, Mimi accountable for getting up to the pool that I have right here and swim. And I actually did it yesterday. So, but I struggled because I'm out of shape. Anyway, you know I'm a walker, but I needed this intensity. And so exercise, fresh air, huge for, can you believe, also gut health. Rest, it's an enemy of our immune system. And rest doesn't necessarily mean inactivity. It means no stress, breathing, meditation, yoga, any of these things. Yes, I can feel myself coming down. So that's huge. Consume, of course, healthy foods and lots of water. Avoid soft drinks. They are just not good for nothing, honey. And all the highly refined sugars and white flours and all those things we love, ice cream, supplements. Take supplements. It's impossible, I'm sorry, to get everything from our foods. Don't get me started on that, because you know I get like rabid, because most of our doctors have had 1 to 2 semesters of nutrition, and yet they're like, oh, just eat healthy. What planet are they from? So, and then lastly is lose those pounds. Being overweight compromises our immune system. Holy cow, you're saying, well, Mitzi, what doesn't? I know, it's a challenge. But we can do this, you all. We can do it together. I have some things here talked about. You know, we talk about what not to do, so what to do. Well, on the avoiding the gluten, and I have been lax on that. I know, even though I don't have like tons, I do. And so this is Ezekiel bread. It's in the freezer section. They're ancient grains. So these grains are highly nutritious and good for us. I use this, and I have a slice of this first thing with natural peanut butter and my first cup of coffee when I have my quiet time as soon as I get up. And so I'm not spiking my insulin by having something sugary or cereal or whatnot that may or may not be healthy. This is a real, same thing. This is from a local bakery, and it's an ancient grain. It's actually sour grain, and it's dense, and it's healthy, and it's good toasted. Excuse me. Fermented foods, sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir. I know Mallory that I go to for facials. She makes her own kefir, and I won't be into that. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, this yogurt, it's Siggy's. Can you believe this little dude has 15 grams of protein and only 10 grams of sugar? That's really healthy. And so that's something that is an easy thing to pick up and have when we need mid-morning, mid-afternoon. Also, water. Cannot stress how much water our bodies need. I put it in this container, and then I can monitor how much water I'm drinking a day. It's surprising the difference the next day when I haven't had my water. Puffy eyes, all kinds of things. Energy, brain fog, just water is so helpful. And then, oh yes, as one ages, we know to take probiotics, but now Mitzi's in prebiotics. And this is a prescription, but my doctor said there's many over-the-counter OTC prebiotics. And so this is to be taken before meals or twice a day. And this is for the bloating and to help with digestion, which is all about why we get into trouble when we have inflammatory digestive system. So this is a probiotic. And then the supplements, I take 5,000 units of vitamin D daily, 80% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. It's huge, you all, for our immune system and our gut health. I take zinc. I take tons of stuff. But those are some of the most important. So with that, also, I just wanted to get in a little bit of the technical. And the reason gut health is so important is because it's our first line of defense. You've heard of T cells, you know, in the last couple years with all the viruses and whatnot. So the T cells provide a barrier against anything in our gut crossing over into the bloodstream that our body doesn't want. Proteins cement these cells together like building an impenetrable wall. Super important. So we've talked about ways that you can help your immune system. And so I'm going to review a couple of those. You know, we had like social distancing. We had, you know, we know frequent hand. These are to prevent disease for our immune system. We know that hand washing and all these things, and some of these things, you know, we're continuing. We should have been done all along. At the gas pump, I know to be like super careful now when pumping gas to, you know, clean all that stuff. So anyway, the T cells, many of us, obviously, my T cells have gone on vacation. And so I am back now trying to restore my gut health. And we live in a world riddled with pro-inflammatory foods. Inflammation, as we've talked about, is the cause, it's believed, by the American Medical Association and lots of research now for a lot of our cancers and diabetes and a lot of heart disease, inflammation. And this is caused a lot by eating way too much sugar. It's hidden in almost everything. And wheat is not our friend. And GMO grains. Do you know what? GMO, genetically modified. So that our bodies don't recognize it and have to fight against it. I know, it's hard, guys. I know. And these foods are laced with preservative and chemicals that collectively work to tear up our gut. I mean, it's like, how much do we have working against us, right? So this is not for sissies. I wish it were different. I wish that I wasn't dealing with this constantly every day. I really do. But I refuse to give in, and I refuse to be totally discouraged, totally overwhelmed, like, oh, why bother? Nothing's going to work. And frankly, I get like that sometimes. I know a lot of people are fighting different physical things that they deal with, much worse, debilitating things. And so I'm trying not to be a whiner. I'm trying to be, believe it or not, encouraging to you all that this can be controlled, but our whole digestive system needs our help. And if one is overweight, having a lot of lethargy, not sleeping, other issues, look at your gut health, you all. See where you might be really sabotaging your own self. We don't want to acknowledge this because trying to change it ain't easy. It's like bladder health. If any of you have cystitis, I think I'm saying that. I mean, you might as well be a monk to try and go on that diet. But there are things that one can avoid to make a huge difference. And that's what we're talking about with gut health and inflammatory issues that attack. So I've already said about limit alcohol, caffeine, relax, stay active. And I've learned, and maybe some of you all can help me, why tap water is better, or room temperature, not tap water, I do filtered water, is better for us than ice water. But that's something that is easy to swap out. So that's what I wanted to share. And when I come back next week, we're going to continue on Wellness Redefined. And I am planning on having a good report on my gut health, on what I've done and how it's affected the outer and inner Mitzi. So until the next time, remember our motto: we do more for ourselves, which is our gut health, so that we can be more for others. Okay, you all. Love you bunches. See you next week.